Before anybody asks, yes, I am working on the next St Mary's book as well.
We're up to 10, aren't we, on the St Mary's in Temple? No, but there will be a 10th.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm writing 9 now. 10 comes out in the summer because that's the way we roll at Accent Press.
And you've got the collection of short stories coming out as well. And an audio play, which Audible have already done all the unabridged books, and they do really, really well. But they've actually bought the dramatic rights for an audio play, and that comes out next month. And you've got some quite big names playing different actors in it, haven't you?
Yes, but Zara Rami's Max, as in the Audible books, so there will be a familiar voice there. Christmas Story. Some story coming out in the summer, because I'm not allowed to stop writing. And notes for other books as well. There will probably be a bit of a spin-off from St Mary's sooner or later. And notes for a couple more Regency romances as well, just to annoy you.
A lot of people are very glad to have something different to do on Christmas Day. And
one lovely lady said, oh, I flung the remote at my husband and a box of Quality Streets at the kids. Shot up upstairs with my Kindle.
We've probably saved an awful lot of family rows.
We probably have,
and divorces, actually. It's probably been quite good.
Yes, I love reading about time travel and time travel theories as well, because it's fascinating. Because I have 2 sons who are in their early 20s, and we have these long discussions about how many DeLorean cars there are in number 3 of Back to the Future. You know, and you always forget the one in the mine shaft. But that's only there when the other one gets struck by lightning. And then the anomalies in it where they come back to the wrong timeline. And then you start talking about timelines, whether you can come back to it or not. And the latest theory that I was reading about it is that if time travel is invented, right, because we'll never know, because anything that comes back and changes is entirely normal. And the fact that we don't see time travel is the fact that they've realised through trial and error that you cannot actually go back and do anything, because it just makes all these huge problems. So I kind of like that as well. But time travel wise, we are time travelling at the moment. We're going through time a day per day, and I think that rate is probably going to stay pretty much fixed. I can't see really how it could possibly work, although the very esoteric sort of scientific theories do state that it's not within, outside the bounds of possibility. I think it probably is.
I have watched various programmes about time travel, and the consensus seems to be that it will be possible one day, but it will not be possible to travel back into the past. They say, for reasons that were very carefully explained, went straight over my head, that you cannot travel back from the point that time travel was invented. You can only go forwards. Whether this is because of changing things in the past and setting up paradoxes and all sorts of things, I don't know. They then go on to say that we are all travelling into the future anyway, we are all time travellers. Then they go on to talk about going into space and how you come back and you're slightly younger than everybody else who's remained on the Earth, because time travels at different speeds. They then start on to rubber sheets and planets and Einstein's theory of relativity, and I generally make a cup of tea and go to bed at this point. I would love to think that time travel could be invented, but given our track record, that of the human race, I don't think it would be a very good idea to do so.
So can I take that as a yes from Jodi?
Yes.
And no from Jasper, unless it's already happened and he's not aware of it? Yeah.
I would love to see what happened to the princes in the tower. That's what I would really like to find out, because quite a lot hinges on what happened to them. I would like to take this.
Answering that, you haven't read one that you thought, yeah, that is what happened.
I have a theory that I could put into a book about what happened. In fact, I did do so. And I wrote 30,000 wonderful words, wonderful award-winning words on what happened to the princes in the tower. And it was a stunning piece of work, easily the best thing I've ever written so far. And I can't find it anywhere on my computer. It went absolutely insane, and I have no idea where it is. So I shall either have to abandon that or rewrite, which I really don't like doing. But you would have loved it. It was excellent. Superb piece of work.
I don't know about mysteries, perhaps. I think sort of opening night of Madame Butterfly would be quite good. I think that'd be quite fun. Also, I think to witness the meteor that came in and killed all the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. That must have been quite a sight, mustn't it? Until you were. Yeah, briefly. If you could just take yourself out before you were completely sort of elated by the heat. There was someone, I can't remember who it was, I think it might have been Brian Cox, but he said that if the dinosaurs had had a moon project, a space program, they probably would still be around now, because it's the only natural disaster we've actually got a chance of averting, being hit by a meteorite. So that's quite interesting. Maybe ask myself a question like, what were you thinking? I did something really stupid. Like, what were you thinking? Go back and meet your younger self and go, no. Not a good idea. No, don't, just don't. No.
Oh, that'd be terrifying.
It would be, wouldn't it?
Oh, that would really,
Yeah, suddenly appearing to yourself. Not really. I mean, I think contractually, if push comes to shove, I don't actually have anything to say at all. But obviously, you want to get along and you want your author to be on board. And fortunately for me, I mean, I think I've had very good covers. My initial cover for the Aerofair was plain red with this little silver dodo right in the middle, which was kind of sort of vaguely intriguing. And when they showed it to me, I was like a new author, and they said, "What do you think?" And I went, "Terrific," like that, because I didn't know what to say. Anyway, but when I went to look at my books for sale in Borders, Borders in Oxford Street, and they had new releases, and at the time books had very sort of noisy covers, and then all of a sudden there was this big block of red. And I went, right, okay, I get that. And then we changed it to what I call the Screaming by Me airport cover, which had Jasper Fforde, the Aerofair. And then we moved on to this other cover that we have now, which is more like a sort of Pulp Fiction kind of look, which I really like. So I've been very lucky that it's all seemed to have worked, except my Shades of Grey British cover, which is kind of noisy. I wasn't sure about it, but the hardcover.
When we put the second generation ones up with the swirly clock up on Jodi's Facebook page, well, you went and hid behind the sofa.
I was abroad, and the only thing that saved me was that I wasn't in the country.
Yeah, her loyal original fans went absolutely ballistic, that we could possibly take the teacup off the cover. And so they drink a lot of tea at St Mary's, that's what the teacup was doing then. They don't actually travel in a teacup or anything like that. So yeah, that has been one of the things that has been quite a journey.
My Shades of Grey cover, the proof, it came out in Galley, and it was quite a nice cover, which was just like sort of painted by numbers kind of cover, which was just, someone had just mocked it up in the art department, and it looked really good. And then they spent a huge amount of money on the actual cover, and we went to the meeting, we were all kind of staring at it like this, and it's a bit like a sort of puppy you don't want to buy, but it's kind of semi-cute, it's got like, sort of, like that. And we sort of stared at it, and I went, "Do you know what? I really like the proof cover." And they went, "Yeah, we do too." And so we went with the proof cover, and this beautiful cover that they'd have someone design it and build it out, cardboard and everything, and then photograph it with shadow and everything. Just gone. Just write it. Really. I mean, don't worry, because if you worry about sort of copying, then you worry about not copying. Because I've actually written stuff, and then I've gone to a movie, and there's been that exact joke, and I've gone, well, I've got to take it out, because people will think that I copied it when I didn't. And then you worry about not copying, and worry about copying. And really, just write whatever you want to. And if you take it to your editor and they say, well, this is like the girl on the train exactly to the same word, then you've got to change it. But it's only an element within it. So if it's just an element, then that's fine. But don't worry about it. Just write. That's the important stuff. Just get it on the page. It'll be different.